Hi, everyone. We are live on LinkedIn. The time is 8 o'clock. Wanted to give everyone a few minutes before we start Careers with Donella. I have another special, amazing guest. Hi, Debra.
Oh, hi, Donella. How are you?
I'm great. We'll give people a few more minutes. So, those of you who have not been here, welcome. Again, I'm Donella Tillery. I'm a career coach. I'm a resume writer. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm here, but also what I like to do is connect with my connections. And for me, that one of my connections, and we actually have a few friends in common, but here I'm today. Today I'm here with Debra Alfarone. Hi, Debra.
Hey there, Donella. Thanks so much for inviting me. This is awesome.
And we wanted, hold on one sec. I wanted to show Debra's, actually wanted to show Debra's, excuse me, sorry about that. Little glitch. Wanted to show Debra's LinkedIn page, and Debra is a media trainer. And I thought Debra has such an incredible background. She's worked with CBS. She recently came from the White House for the Correspondent dinner, which was amazing. I like following your posts. You look great, by the way. So I thought today that we'd start with, have an interview with Debra. So how are you tonight, Debra?
I am happy it's Friday. It has been a long week. It has been a crazy week in news and in my life and everything I'm working on. So this is this is my happy hour.
Right. And that's great. And everyone hears Debra's profile. So Debra, while people are looking at your profile, tell me a little bit about your media business and how did you start it?
Yeah. So I am in a couple of worlds. I am a journalist. That's the first thing. I'm a journalist. And so I work for CBS News and CBS Newspath. So I am at the White House reporting on the news of the day. I'm at the US Capitol reporting on the news of the day there. I do that because I'm not just teaching them to be great on camera. I'm not teaching them just how to be powerful on camera. I'm teaching them how to be powerful in their lives. You know, when you give someone their voice, you help someone access their voice. You're giving them a gift, the gift of power. And so I help journalists and non-journalists alike. I have this thing called the membership. So if you work in TV news and you're on air, I invite you to join my membership. And that's where I kind of pour into people. And it's an ongoing, every week we have a Zoom. And then I do media training for big companies, for universities, for actually had a presentation for a bunch of journalists, international journalists I've been working on, overnight, trying to get this thing done. So those are the different things I have my hands in. And the latest thing to put on my LinkedIn profile is that I am writing a book as well. So I don't know when I sleep, but I have a feeling, Donella, that you don't sleep much either, because I know I've seen your LinkedIn profile. When do you sleep?
That's great. Very true. I'll sleep tonight, maybe about 10, because LinkedIn is important because we wouldn't have been able to connect on LinkedIn. Right. And that's what I tell everyone. And that's so true. We have people in common that we know.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your background as a journalist. How did you get started? You're still here. You're consistent. You have this incredible integrity. I've watched, your different stories that you've covered. And I just think what I really liked about it is how much you bring out of the person, the feeling and emotion. You did a couple of stories on some servicemen. You did a story about this couple that even, they started their own puzzles about women of color. And actually my daughter bought one. So I was like, Debra knows something.
Oh, no, I love it. And I had one here, but I sent it to one of my clients because I thought she would like it. Was like right there, my little.
I know I said a lot, but tell me more. How did you start in journalism? Because I think a lot of people would like to know that, because and what you do a little bit more.
I started at the bottom. And when I say bottom, like I was making $10.50 an hour, carrying a camera, driving around New York City, the 5 boroughs of New York City to shoot, stories for New York One. I was not on camera then. And it's been a long journey. But I started at the bottom. Again, $10.50. That's what I made. Was not easy. And people aren't making that much these days either, mind you. I worked my way up, basically got myself to Connecticut. From Connecticut, I worked there for years. And then I went to New York. From New York, I went to Washington, D.C. And from Washington, D.C., I basically in 2018, my boss at the time had said, yeah, we're not that into you, and wanted to demote me. And I thought, let me
Wow.
listen to the universe. The universe is speaking to me.
Right.
And so I left because, and this is for anyone, you don't even need to be on this to listen about your career. Okay. You could just be, zoom along online and find us. And here, this is the message for you, is that people can only treat you the way you allow them to treat you. And so you got to go. If it no longer fits, you got to go, whether it's a pair of jeans, or a job or a relationship. When you've outgrown it, go. And so this was the universe. The universe sends you, as Oprah says, like a little pebble. Then it hits you in the head a little later on if you don't listen, with a rock. Well, this was the brick, right? The brick hit.
Yeah. I've been there.
And so what was I doing at that time? I was helping everybody, helping all my friends. I was coaching people. I didn't even know. Someone else would hear about someone. They'd be like, oh, you need to talk to Debra. It was word of mouth. So I was already coaching journalists and helping them to just get their voice, write better, be better on camera, have confidence. And it became a business. I just started a business. And then this business grew. And then what happened was, one day I was in there coaching one of my wonderful clients. I said, you got to call, you got to ask for what you want. And it hit me that I was not doing the same thing. Because earlier that day, I saw that my longtime mentor just got a promotion to be the head of CBS News. So as I'm coaching this one person, I'm going, no, you have every right to be there. And she's going, no, I don't. Who am I to go make this call? I'm going, girl, you got everything. Like, you get to create your life. The size of your life is created by the size of your ask. So you got to keep asking and never take it personally when you don't get what you want. And here I am going, damn, ain't that something? Because I didn't do it. So I did turn around and email my mentor. And that started down the road of me getting to CBS News, which has been an incredible honor, an incredible delight. I have been a front row guest to just the most incredible time in our universe. I mean, what, 2020, 2021, 2022? I mean, I have been through and covered so many things, from an election to an insurrection. I've covered 2 impeachments. I did not cover, because at that time I was on the bench because they were not bringing a lot of people in, but I didn't cover so many of the protests after George Floyd was killed. But so many of my clients had. Mm-hmm. And so I was there for them, and they would call me, and I would try to calm them down and tell them what they were doing is important, and show them like how to stay safe. And that's how I ended up creating this thing called the membership, because people needed to be part of something. And so I stand for my clients in that way. I have covered, I covered the pandemic. I was at the White House the day that Trump gave his primetime address. I mean,
oh, wow.
Imagine the things, like, I just can't even put into words all of the things that I've covered. I can't believe it. But you're right. Not to go on too long. Okay, I'm wrapping up this up. But the stories that really move me are the stories that need to be told, that are a little bit outside of that, like the father who doesn't see his children represented in puzzles that they put together. He has 3 little Black children, and there are no puzzles with little Black children. So he creates a puzzle company, and it takes off. That was a story that I thought, this needs to be told.
Right.
Those are the ones that move me the most.
And that's actually a good point, especially because we have quite a few reporters on here. How do you balance the emotion with the professionalism? Because you got to get the story out, but you can't, like you saw Trump, you've seen, Biden. You still have to stay professional, whether you like someone or not, and you have to tell the story, in your best way. How do you handle that, or what tips can you give to people?
Great question. It's not always easy, right? But it is my job. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, but it is my job, and it is what will pay for this computer that I'm going live on. Like, this is what we do. So I am a journalist, and people think, oh, well, you're a journalist. You just write stories and you stand there and talk. Right. No, there's a lot that goes into this. We have a standards department. We have ethics. We have a race and culture unit. That story that I told you about the young African-American father whose kids didn't see themselves represented in puzzles, that went through our race and culture unit, so we can make sure that the wording, we're striking the right tone. We don't do things without everybody checking it to make sure. And I will do live shots, and those are vetted beforehand. But I know how to do this. I know how to keep my cool. And there's things that you don't need to keep your cool about. Okay. When someone says that was not an insurrection, that was an insurrection. That's all there is to it. Period. The word sums it up. And I will only talk to people who want to have a normal conversation with me and engage on that level of, oh, well, because sometimes people come at you and like, that wasn't an insurrection. That was nothing. I was there. Where were you? Because I was there. So I know what that was. I'm not going to suffer fools. And then as far as the emotion in these stories, like, again, the father with the puzzles, or St. Emma Military Academy, this amazing academy that, there's no history. No one knows about this amazing place that turned out all these people. Like, I let the emotion flow. I let the emotion flow in that, because why tell a story if you're not moved by it?
Right.
I do feel like people want to see a person who has feelings versus robot. So I only pitch stories that move me.
And it's good. And actually, David Wilson, this is actually a good point. So how do you handle work-life balance? Hi, David. You didn't tell us where you're from, but thank you. I'm glad to see you have a LinkedIn picture. So that's why I put you up there.
Nice.
We're always checking.
David, great question. I don't. I am learning all the time. Over here, and you can't see I'm pointing, but I have a little list of daily habits. I read the book Atomic Habits. I made this whole
That's
list.
one of my favorite books. I have it. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Belkis if she's on. I tell everybody to read it. I told my clients to read it.
And sign up for the weekly email. Okay.
Yes. I share it every time.
Yes. Me too. So I have it written, but do I actually do it? And no, I don't. I'm trying. I am trying. It goes in ebbs and flows.
It's a habit. You're getting your habits together. You go that and Mel Robbins. I love with Mel Robbins too. Mel Robbins.
We are like, yes, Mel Robbins is amazing. 5-second rule. I mean, I try, but I don't really do a good job at it.
Yeah. So everyone's going to be like, oh, they got to get these books.
Yeah, no, you should. They're good. I have them lying around here somewhere.
So we have some questions from other people. So how have you found, what was the name of that, Cheryl? Hey, Cheryl. Everyone's like, what was that? Cheryl, it's Atomic Habits. If you connect with one of us, it's by James Clear, Atomic Habits. And it's such an amazing book. It's not fluff. It's really about changing your life, not just goal setting, but setting yourself up with success by your habits. And that's what I like about it. Deborah, you can test that. It's just such a good book.
Yeah. I mean, it's all these little things. Like if there's something you don't want to do, you attach it to another thing that you do every day.
Right. So instead of Cheryl saying, I'm going to work out every day, maybe say, I'm not going to miss more than 2 workouts in a row. And that'll help you become more consistent with your workout. When he said that, I was like, oh, that was like brilliant. Oh, Cheryl said she's ordering now. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl,
Seriously,
where are you from?
It's the #1 book right in the country right now.
Yeah, it's such a good book. Yeah, it's just so clear. Thanks, Cheryl. Tell us where you're from, by the way. I'm always just curious.
Yeah.
So Deborah, I went back to you a little bit too. We can talk about Atomic Habits forever. I was gonna link in someone, my friend Belkis. But how have you found that the industry has changed over the years? Because I'm sure reporters are, it's just different. You have people who are on YouTube who say they're media.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. They have a great following. I follow a lot of people on YouTube. But then you have reporters like yourself. You've been in the trenches. Like you said, you started at $10 an hour. You are at the White House now. How has the industry changed? What are your thoughts on that? If you can share with us, the good, the bad, anything you've seen, we'd love to hear it.
Oh, Donella, it's changed so much. So back in the day, you would be sent as a reporter, as I was a reporter, you would be sent out with a camera person and a truck operator, and maybe even an audio person. And that was local news. And I'm working at network now. So there's a difference between local and network. Now it's just you. So I am the mentor, the coach to more than 75 young women and men who are journalists around the country. Like I've got people in San Francisco, in DC, in Florida, like all over the place, Midwest. And they are out there shooting their own stuff, editing their own stuff, driving themselves to stories. They're also doing the social media, they're doing all the things. And that's a lot of work. It's exhausting. And then they're expected to come in every day with 3 fresh story ideas.
Right.
How do you do all that? So, I have a problem with work-life balance. I don't know how they do it. And this industry is burning them out. Plus, they don't get paid well. They don't get paid well at all. You would think a reporter gets paid well, and you would be shocked. Some of them are making, $30,000, $40,000. I mean, an anchor, I know anchors that are main anchors who have to do a second job. And so don't be surprised when you see your morning anchor, seating you in a restaurant later. And
Wow.
that to me really says a lot. Like there's a lot that we put out there. We put out a lot of content. We work very hard. You also have a persona. So you really can't just be like, someone cuts you off. Believe me, if you're driving, someone cuts you off. I can't just flip you the bird.
Right.
I can't just yell at you because someone might go, oh, you're from CBS.
Right. Right.
Not that I would.
Uh-huh.
But we all get mad when someone cuts us off, right?
Right.
Because we're human. So,
Right.
There's so much to it that it is very difficult. It's a lot. And so I see this, I mean, even before the pandemic, it was difficult. Now I'm seeing some of my clients who are in the higher markets, like maybe they're in market 200. There's the way it goes is, New York is the number 1 market. LA is number 2. And then there's smaller markets along the way where maybe a lot of us like grew up in a small town somewhere like that's like market 150, right? Well, some of these markets at 150, 190, 200, they're done because no one needs to go to this higher market now. They can just get out of school and go to market 40, which was unheard of. But they're not paying anything. So that's what they're getting. It's people without a lot of experience. I'm sure they're very smart, but it just feels I don't know. It feels like no one's being paid their worth these days. And that's troubling for me.
And that's what I talk about a lot with my clients too. When we're doing the career coaching and I gave them over the Mother's Day weekend, I gave people homework. And I want you to think, when I tell them when they want to apply for these jobs, write out, why do you want this job? Why, what are you going to bring to the job and why are you going to get paid for that? I'm in this incredible resume group with Jay Block and, we kind of talk about that all the time with clients, return on the compensation. That's what's really important about it. Getting paid with your worth. And it's interesting because so many people have so much they don't have the self-confidence to even ask for the right salary and negotiate things. And that's great for you, helping reporters through that to understand that that's what they need to do.
They absolutely do. And also, if you take a bum deal, then you deserve a bum deal.
Oh, I might have to use that for my clients. I might have to pay. Yeah, because it's so true with people. And share just a few more things. We're almost out of time, but what are the challenges that you had to overcome as you built your brand? Because you have this very clear brand. It's just so excellent. You're one of the people I say, look at her LinkedIn profile, look at Debra's LinkedIn profile. This is what it should look like. You know what she does, you know how she does it, and you know how she can help you. So just tell us a little bit about that because you're so clear on your brand and that's just really excellent. What are the challenges that you overcome?
I think we all have to overcome a little bit of this, right? So one of the things that I bring my clients through, I have a worksheet and I'll do this. I'll also do some live coaching about getting the beep out of your own way. And so we get stuck and we think that we are, whatever the label is that has been placed on us by society, or maybe we placed on ourselves or whatever it may be. And in order to brand yourself in the world and on LinkedIn, okay, because guess what? We're always broadcasting. I'm broadcasting right now with you, but when I go to the store, I'm broadcasting. When I walk down the street, I'm broadcasting. How am I going to show up? right? So I have to think of those words that really describe me. And that means shutting that computer off, going in the, in the corner and getting your pen and a pad or whatever and writing down, what you want to be. And so a lot of my coaching is getting those old habits, old labels, old words out of there, because that's not true. Those are just some not so great labels that you've been carrying around with you. And what are the ones you want to be? And so, I remember like a long time ago thinking what I wanted to grow into was I wanted to be an author and a thought leader.
Right.
I really want to give advice like a Mel Robbins, like a Gabby Bernstein, like a Iyanla Van Zandt. Love Iyanla. I wanted to be that type of person. So I have to write that down and use that in my bio and confidently walk towards that. So I always kind of knew who I wanted to be. And you'll see, I love hot pink. I love hot pink, this is my brand, right? But I wanted to show you all the different sides of me, the things that I do. So that's kind of like, I just decided it was really important to make things look good. If I'm putting out a professional product, you know what you're getting. I've seen too many websites where I was like, this is beep, it's not good. Like it's not really putting out a professional product, or maybe it's outdated. I mean, I don't know which is worse, it not being professional looking or it being outdated. I don't know either one. Like I want this to be fresh. I want you to see my stuff and be like excited going, wow, she's got it together. I want to hang out with her.
Exactly. Right. And again, we know a couple of the same people. You never know who knows who.
That's right.
And who's going to connect you and anything like that. That's so true. Yeah. So before we end, I was going to ask you, I usually ask people their favorite book, but I think we covered that. Unless you have another one. I think we did. Another one. So right now, what about this? What is your guilty pleasure? I ask everyone of something you like to watch that you can admit on LinkedIn.
Okay. I got to be honest with you. Okay. A little secret here. Okay. I am a journalist and I don't watch TV.
Okay. All right. I'm going to look. I got to do the solo work. So everybody know what?
I know, right? What? I don't watch TV, but when I do, it's Housewives. You know what? I just want to see something fabulous. Like I want to see the fabulous clothes. I mean, I'm from New York. I kind of miss all that, So I want to see all the clothes and the places they go because I ain't going anywhere.
Same here.
Here we are. I'm just home with my dogs. So I got one right here. Like this is what I do is I hang out with him. He's always next to me. This little Baxter. He's a rescue.
Baxter.
And that's it. So I want to watch like something where they're doing something fabulous, going on a boat. Wearing that's what I want because I'm just hanging out here in thrift store stuff with the dog. Right, baby?
Well, this is great. We're going to close out. This was very inspiring. You, like everyone else, is just these amazing interviews. I'm always honored to interview people. So tell everyone words that can inspire them closing out. Words of inspiration, something just to close out for everyone to remember after this. We're going to have, this is recorded, everyone, so you can see it again and share with your friends, and you can definitely connect with both of us. But take it away, Debra.
Okay. If you are watching this, you may not be where you want to put the dog down. You may not be, and now I'm back. You may not be where you want to be. Maybe you're working with Donella because you want to get your resume together. You want to get somewhere. I just want you to know two things, okay? Two things. What happens to you happens for you. So when that boss was like, we don't dig you, that happened for me because now I'm at the White House. Incredible honor. So what happens to you happens for you. And the second thing I want to tell you is the world needs what you've got. As you are, you don't need to change. There's nothing wrong with you. The world needs what you and only you, uniquely you, have got.
That was good. That was a great way to close out. I want to thank you, Debra. Thank you so much. This was great. I hope that everyone loved this. We had over 85 people join us tonight, so I'm sure we'll get more. I have more of these coming up, but Debra, thank you so much for your time. Get some rest or your next adventure. Tell Alicia I said hi. I'll tell Whitney I said hi.
I
I got to connect
will.
you with Linda Bell. Hey, Linda, if you're listening, shout out. She was the woman I interviewed last week with Diversity Inc. She's amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah, everything like that. Oh, Cheryl said, oh, thanks. Cheryl said she loves that. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl is actually in Palm. Where is she? Let me post her up here. Cheryl, where are you? Palm Beach.
Beautiful.
Palm
Jill,
Beach.
you're gorgeous. Palm Beach Gardens. Oh, what is it like there?
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
it's-
Meanwhile, we're here in 55 degrees in New Jersey. Yeah.
Wow.
Here we go. Thank you. Someone said thank you. Well,
You're so
thank you. You
welcome.
have a great night. I'm going to end the broadcast. Everyone, thank you so much for joining Careers with Donella. Again, Debra Alfarone, awesome connect. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you so much. I had a wonderful time. If you want more gems, follow me on Instagram. I'm always dropping them at Debra Alfarone.
Thank you. Everyone, have a good night. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Bye, Debra.
Bye.